Thanks, guys. And just like an artist edition should, it comes in one of these nice little cardboard protective boxes. Hey, what's going on, Rob? I knew you'd want to see this, that's why I went ahead and messaged you. I'm like, oh, dude, you don't want to miss this. John Buscema cover. I'm not sure why they colored it, but oh well, that's okay. Let's see if I can. Being very careful with my razor knife here. So I really just want to start it. I don't want to damage it. Ah, all right. There we go. We'll just tear through the hymen and have our way with it. There we go. No one going back now. You lost your virginity. Here we go. Oh, nice. Cool little illustrate end page. All kinds of people I see right away. Zafino, Buscema and Palmer, Alfredo Alcalo's over here. Anyway, um, ooh, a big close up of this Sienkiewicz painting. This is cool. Most of the other artist editions I've got, they only feature one artist in them. Um, so it's kind of cool having this one where it's got a selection of people. Wow. Art Adams. See if I get to focus on it a little better. Okay. Everything I can do to show as much of this as possible. It won't even. You know what I'm going to do? Nah, I was thinking about turning to the side, but no, I don't think that's going to work out. That's going to have me shifting this around. I wish I had an actual real table. That would be great. John Buscema pages right away. Pretty sure this from issue 45 of Conan the Barbarian. That's inked by Neil Adams over Buscema, if I'm not mistaken. This also looks like Neil Adams ink. Ooh, a bonus sketch by Buscema on the back. He's famous for doing artwork on the backs of his pages as well. Mine's oftentimes the stuff on the back was better than the stuff on the front. Depending upon the script he had to work with. Um. Okay. Cool. All right. It gives us credits on each page. I like that. That difference in format, written real small along the bottom of each page is a little teeny line, and it gives a credit line, so you don't have to flip back and forth constantly the table of contents, which is nice because I would be constantly. Um, so this is Pablo Marcos over here, inking John Buscema, and over here we've got some John Buscema with Joe Sennett. Now this says this is inks by Dick Giordano and Dan Adkins, but I'm an inker and I am a big fan of Giordano, and I also know what Dan Adkins' work looks like, and this is not Dan Adkins. This is John Buscema with Dick Giordano. I have no doubt whatsoever. Inks by Tony De Zuniga in here. Wow, unbelievably nice. Give you a look at this figure a little better, because I know Rob's like, I want to see it. Check out the girl too. Mm. All right. Looks like more Giordano inks. More Giordano inks. Cool. And that's one of the reasons why I bought this too. So many different inkers are represented. Like these are Tom Palmer. So you get to study inking techniques by a variety of really, really great artists. More Tom Palmer. Over Buscema, of course. Buscema. That's how I usually pronounce it. I heard somebody pronounce it Buscema. I don't know if that's right or not. I'm just going to say it default for me anyway. Wow, that's incredible. You don't get too much in the way of John Buscema inks. Usually, you know, there was a few select jobs. For the most part, from what I understand, he really didn't like the ink. Having said that, he did a lot of great covers like this one. Oh, wow. And this one. Wow. That is so damn good. Cool. And from what I understand, too, the nice thing about it is they're only going to do one printing of this book. So, unlike most of the artist editions, when they sell out, they go back to print or whatever, and you don't really get a collector's item that way because they can always go back to print. And then anybody that wants one doesn't care about your first printing or second printing. Usually, they just want to look at the art. Another piece of ink, but this one, it is explicitly said that they're only going to do one printing of this book. So, unlike so many other times, I may actually see a return on my investment. We got a reproduced page. We got doubles. Oh, look at that. Misprint. Nobody mentioned the misprint. So, both those pages are repeated. Buyer beware. And this cover is repeated. Do we have a lot of repeated stuff? There's another page repeated. Not cool. So that's one, two, three, four pages in here that you get the pleasure of looking at twice. Way to take up real estate, guys. Oh well. This is more of that Neil Adams Inc. issue. Um, yeah, you start to see some of the Neil Adams. Like, look at the stuff going on in his back. And the stone. That's amazing. I love those rocks. Just incredible. I can't really get him up. That's as close as I can get him. Here, turn him this way. More Neil Adams. I always loved this woman's face right there by Buscema and Neil Adams. Just gorgeous. Didn't we see this page a minute ago? Yes. We're getting that page repeated too. And this page repeated too. And this page repeated too. What the fuck, people? Dude, that's like, that's a pretty good print fuck up there. That sucks. So, yeah, I hope you like those pages because you get to look at those a lot. Nice going, guys. All right, all right. Get back. Jesus Christ, guys. And again, are we out of it yet? There we go. Yeah, finally moving on to something else besides those fucking 4 or 5 pages. That pisses me off. Oh well, that's all right. I'm gonna get over it here because these are inks by Tony Desveniga. So are these. There's the John Buscema image that they used on the cover. And another Buscema from the Conan portfolio. Excuse me, from 19. Excuse me, damn, from 1980. This is McLeod and Buscema inks, but I don't see any of Bob here. I'm guessing that's mostly John Buscema, if not all, on that page at least. Now these other pages, it gets difficult to tell. There's Bob McLeod does a really good job of inking Buscema, and staying real natural to his style. I'm not saying that he apes it, what Buscema does, but it's pretty close to the spirit of what Buscema might do. It's a nice one. The cover of King Conan, and from Annual 7, Buscema Pencils and Inks. Buscema Pencils and Inks. This one looks like the original art is signed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, for the Conan movie special, so I'm sure that is pretty worth a pretty penny to the lucky owner. Wow. Now, last time I looked at it, which was a couple days ago, they did still have copies of this book over at cheapgraphicnovels.com, where I got mine. You better run and go get it if you want one, because, like, from the time that I saw the videos I saw that flipped through it, they sold out of this cover and another cover. The only ones that they've got left over there are the ones with the Jim Lee cover, which it's got the same interior stuff going on. But if you wanted to be semi covered like this one, or I think the other one was it Tim Conrad maybe? I don't know. Anyway, Buscema pencils and inks. That old school Hal Foster brush sort of look going on. Yeah, I was kind of on the fence about getting this one. Now I get the feeling I'll be kind of on the fence about the idea of selling it because I really like that. Wow, that is incredible. Dude, and this witch's house with the head sticking out of the wall, skull sticking out. Just trying to get it to where I can look at and show you guys that. More Buscema pencils and inks. Hey, they did grab a nice selection of stuff. You know, like really the creme de la creme is, because there's a lot of Conan stuff that's it's Buscema pencils, but it's nobody you want to look at inking it. I don't want to name any names. That's a nice cover. I always like that one. Anytime you got like the soul guy beating the shit out of a whole room full of people, I really dig that. And it's composed really well. You've got this guy down at the bottom here, the big face that leads you into this and leads you up into Conan. And it's very triangular sort of composition. You got spears pointing at you, Conan up there. Great composition, great shot. Buscema indulging in some ink wash. And here, look at this. Yeah, that's right. There's a crease in this page, fresh out of the wrapping, before it ever got to me. Not cool, not cool. Alright. Gil Kane cover. It doesn't say who inked this one. I'm gonna say it looks like maybe Dan Adkins to me. I'm not sure. Not sure. This is the Gil Kane section, I guess. So we can only give a lot more iffy inks because Kane often got iffy inks. And then we will list the inkers on these on the bottoms of the pages of these. It's just listed as Gil Kane. But I assure you, Gil Kane did not ink any of these pages. Um, if I had to guess, I don't know. I don't have a guess. That's Ernie Chan, though. They had a lot of really bad pairings of inkers over Gil Kane. Tom Sutton inking this stuff. I don't think Tom Sutton was a very good pairing over Gil Kane. Um, I do like Tom Sutton's work on his own, but I don't want to see him making anybody else, to be honest with you. Ernie Chan inks here. It says here it doesn't tell us. I don't really have a guess. Probably Ernie Chan though on that cover. More Ernie Chan inks over Gil Kane. I gotta be honest. Ernie Chan's inks over Gil Kane are not my favorite. We're gonna stroll through this a little more quickly. Danny Bolinati inking, and I'm not inking pages here that are inked by Gil Kane or yeah, here we go. It's kind of sparse, but it's barely getting that because it's marker. You can tell. Even in this, it's faded to like a like a indigo sort of color. Danny Bolinati. Gil Kane got a lot of inkers. I really was not breathtaking by. And we're out of that section to the Barry Windsor Smith. That's what we've got there. Um, inked by Sal Buscema here on this splash page. The older Barry Windsor Smith when he first made his debut in comics. A very, very different style than what he gave us later on. Yeah, if you're familiar with Barry Windsor Smith's stuff, anything past like, I don't know, 1980-ish has a very different look. Again, flipping through this kind of fast because I know there's some Neil Adams in here. I know there is because I saw the other guy flip through it, flip past it, and yeah, there's Neil Adams in here, and I want to get to that. Oh, I've been sitting here looking at this thing for 30 minutes. I'm sure the three folks that are here that are watching probably do not mind looking at it. Why else would you want to look at this thing? It's not to listen to me yammer. All right, now we're getting to some covers. Art Adams. More Art Adams. And now we're getting into Neil Adams. Oh, Rob likes my commentary. All right, cool. Oh, this chick, he's got tied up back here. Looking very, yeah, 1991. That's about what I got. Would have guessed. You could do stuff like that in '91. All right, that's what I'm talking about. More Neil Adams goodness, and he does a ripping Conan too. He does a great job with all the horses and stuff. Great stuff by Neil. Cool mountains and stuff he's got going on. Trying to get some nice shots so you can really get a look at this. Oh, right on. One of Neil Adams' color paintings. Turn this sideways so we can look at this thing in all of its glory that we can here. Wow. Crazy. Wow. That's my commentary. I'm just like, wow. Look at that. Awesome pen and ink work by Alfredo Alcala. Always liked Alfredo Alcala. Actually, I shouldn't call it pen and ink work because he used to do all this with a brush. A Chinese foxtail brush. Stuck in bamboo, to be precise. And they used to make these things have like a little bamboo handle to it. And the tail would just be sticking out of it. Like they were Japanese brushes. But he had an amazing degree of control, obviously, over his brushes. Yeah, I don't know how, But from what I understand, Alcala was lightning fast. Like a guy that could kick you out 3 pages a day that looked like this, no problem. Holy shit. I love this. This is like ink geek stuff right there. All that texture and stuff and the weeds and stuff. I love that. That is just amazing. Mm, more Alcala goodness on here. No wash, no tones. Those are all hand drawn lines with the brush. The old fashioned way. This is one by Enrique Alcatena. I'm sure I'm mutilating that name. Some very cool textures, inking technique going on there. Lots of different styles in this book, and I dig that. Ernie Chan solo, his own pencils. Minus John Buscema. You see, this is over Howard Chaykin, but it looks just like it does over John Buscema. This is one of those guys. Ernie Chan was definitely one of those guys in the mid to late 70s that they would grab up along with Wally Wood, and they would just let them run over the pencils. Like, here, you take these breakdowns and you finish them up. And look, this is your book. It's your job to keep it looking consistent. So you would get stuff like this where like it didn't matter who they who they got to pencil it. Ernie Chan would come in, and it was just Ernie Chan when you were done. This page is by painter and early Wildstorm colorist Joe Chiodo. You see a lot of pencil and ink work from Joe anymore. He's painting. This is Tim Conrad. Tim Conrad's stuff was really cool. Um, that's a pretty good page. I like that one. Not the most amazing page of his I've seen, but a strong one here. Yeah, we're getting into some good Tim Conrad stuff. Sort of like a stuff always reminded me of what Barry Smith was doing, but better than the way Barry Smith was doing it at the time. He was inking it better. And then, of course, when Smith changed styles, uh, it no longer looked anything like it. But Jeff Isherwood, very strong inker and talented penciler as well. Another one by Isherwood over here. It's always cool to see his stuff. I always liked his line. Mm. Gary Quepitz. Quepis. I don't know how to say that guy's name. Nice duo shade stuff though. You see how that chemical toner turns your page all yellow and stains the shit out of it and everything else. It's still cool. Here's the Jim Lee, and although this looks very much like Scott Williams Inc.'s, yeah, it is Scott Williams Inc. Okay, that's cool. That's a nice one. I thought Jim had inked this one himself for a minute. I was like, man, that looks like Scott. It is. What else we got here? Oh, another Jim Lee and Scott Williams one. I wouldn't have guessed that was Jim, actually. That face and that arm actually say more like Wills and Jimmy. Um, he's won by Esteban Maroto. John McCrae. A very thick, chunky sort of ink style going on here. Kind of reminds me of some inking I've seen Dan Panosian doing sometimes. Some of this stuff looks a little like something Dan would do. Also reminds me of places. The quality of the line reminds me a lot of work by Cully Hamner. I've seen. That's cool. Very cool. And of course, Rudy Nebres. 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 I don't know. Very cool. All brushwork. Dunk. Sorry, I mean to dunk the camera. Real high quality production values here. Alex Nino. Okay, this is that dude that I'm always sending you film clips by. That dude that's using the parallel pen. This is from 1995. You see these very high contrast looking sort of statues and stuff, and there was just blobbed in that ink. And this is Kevin Nolan doing what you expect to see from Kevin Nolan. Mhm. Stuff by Tony Salmons. Looks like it's done in marker. And that's why we're not, it's starting to fade. Not really getting a great look at it. And here's a cover by Bill Sienkiewicz. I am sure that Bill Sienkiewicz, knowing a couple things about Bill Sienkiewicz that I've heard, I am absolutely certain that Bill Sienkiewicz is thrilled to death to have his cover sitting next to Tony Salmon's pieces. And if you understand why, then you understand why. I'm not going to go into it here on the video, but yeah, I'm sure that Bill Sienkiewicz is just fucking head over heels about that. Poor guy. Anyway, Alex Toth. Oh, Ginger Bear House Studios here, and he's going, "Hey, where is my copy?" I guess he backed it on the crowdfunder. He's still without his copy, dude. First of all, I don't know if you got here, but there's several misprinted pages in this that you'll get to look forward to, where they doubled and they got 4 or 5 pages that they printed twice in here. I don't like the look of that. Like, why am I seeing the stitching come open right there? That's not a good sign. It tells me I better be careful with this sucker. But yeah, the other dude flipped through it. I didn't even notice. And he didn't say anything about it. But yeah, there's um, a bunch of the Buscema section here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, here we go. I'll get some of it here. Okay. So I think they give us, you get this piece twice. You get this piece twice. That page twice. This page twice. This page twice. Both of these twice as well. Both of these twice as well. So yeah, like a half a dozen pages here that they reprinted. See, we got it there, and then 2 pages later, we got it again. Not real thrilled about that. But having said that, it's a few pages out of it. The rest of the book, I'm pretty excited about. Lots of good examples of Buscema at full size stuff where it's Buscema inks. That is primo Buscema inks right there. He did not have the love for the craft of inking that he did for penciling. So a lot of times he would sort of, I don't know, bone it in a little bit. And then other times he would really, really take the time and crush it and give it exactly what he wanted. You see that for these covers. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. Despite that printing misstep in there, it's pretty cool. I didn't get all the way to the end. Okay. I guess I did. And you got a nice afterword here by Jim Zub. Nice end page by Alex Toth. That's cool. Very cool. Not crazy about them putting color on the cover, even though it's fairly well done. Like, yeah, didn't need to do that. But I'm not gonna. I don't know. It doesn't bother me as bad as the printing error in it. That really kind of. But hey, they're Zombie Cinema pages, and they're ones that are inked by Neil Adams. So if you're gonna double up on pages, those would be the one to double up on. Yeah. Oh no, I'm happy I got it. Um, I'll be excited when it sells out and begins to accumulate some value on the aftermarket because I'm kind of excited to see what the value bumps up to since they've promised that they're only going to do one printing of this. But yeah, this can, I'll find some place to put this for a little while. Pretty happy with that. Glad I jumped on it. Cheapgraphicnovels.com still had copies of the Jim Lee cover, but they probably won't for much longer. Like I said, while I was watching, I watched a video on another channel, and he did a flip through of it, and then I went and ordered a copy on that day, just out of curiosity to look and see at the list if they had a listing of artists there in more detail, which they didn't. But I did happen to notice while I was there that earlier in the day when I'd gone, they had all three color covers available, but when I went back for it, they only had one available, man. So they're going quick. If you want one, better get on over to cheapgraphicnovels.com and snap one up, because otherwise these suckers sell out. Stuff like that bumps up to like $500 or something instantly. Like the moment there are no more copies to be had on the primary market, the secondary market goes aha. So extra Jim Lee artist edition in trade plus $40 from the Master Kelly. Yeah, I don't know. Master Kelly artist edition. I already got that book in damn many forms. It's like, really? Do I have to have it in artist edition size? I really hate these these books, to be honest with you. What a nightmare to store. I mean, they're cool to look at, but I can't even get it to fit on my table here. It doesn't even fit on camera. I find a place to stash this thing. And then that misprint really cheeses me off. I don't hate it, but I would have liked it better if they hadn't done the misprint. All right, I'll quit bitching. Quit crying, old man. Shut up. Nobody cares what you think. Anyway, I guess I'm done blathering on about this thing for now. I've gone on for about an hour. The year one and the Frank Miller one, the only ones you consider, like, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've got the Daredevil Artisan edition. I kind of like that Daredevil stuff better than Dark Knight Returns. I know I mean, better than Batman Year One. And I know that's sacrilege to a lot of people. Are like, what? But yeah, I liked the Daredevil stuff better. I thought it became too abstract. So yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm not gotten yours yet, man. Yeah, yeah, Daredevil stuff is good. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up for here, from here, and thank everybody for stopping in to take a look. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please do. So anyway, take it easy. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. I got another one to go through, but I'm gonna break it out another time. I got the omnibus for the Batman animated series books for Batman Adventures. Anyway, thanks for joining me. We'll talk to you soon.